What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, legend, icon, Hall of Fame, superstar boxer, Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest fighters the sport of boxing has ever seen. Roy Jones is the greatest athlete the sport of boxing has ever seen, in my opinion. I haven't seen a greater athlete than Roy Jones. Twitchy, fast hands, fast feet, and power. Haven't seen the total package like Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is giving some very good advice, in my opinion, to now former unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one. Definitely top five, pound for pound, best fighters in the world, in Earl the True Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. suffered a major loss this past Saturday, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, when he took on undefeated three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, now the undisputed welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many and should just be considered overall the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay, Terrence Crawford now has a record of 40 wins, no losses, no draws. He has 31 big wins by way of knockout. He's 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, okay, they took on one another in what was to be a highly anticipated, undisputed welterweight showdown. It was seen on paper to be a 50-50 fight if there ever were one. This was a fight where you had two top five pound-for-pound undefeated fighters in their prime, two multi-unified world champions, two superstars facing off against one another. And it turned out to be anything but a 50-50 fight. It turned out to be a one-sided domination in favor of Terrence Bud Crawford, who dropped Errol Spence in the second round, dropped him twice in the seventh round, and then brutally stopped him in the ninth round. Okay, so with that said, Roy Jones gave his opinion on how Errol Spence should fix it. He gave a solution because we know they're contractually obligated to have a rematch. Well, at least Terrence Crawford is contractually obligated to rematch and give Errol Spence the rematch. And Errol Spence is calling for the rematch to be at 154 at the junior middleweight division, citing that he didn't say this, but obviously it's clear. He said it without saying it that he wants this fight to be at 154. That he's struggling to make 147. So he possibly felt weight drain in his fight with Terrence Crawford. Okay, now he didn't say that, but obviously that's reading between the lines. That's what he's going after, right? And Terrence Crawford has uttered the same sentiments. Terrence Crawford has stated that it's simply not easy for him to make 147 pounds anymore. So he wants to go up to 154. So they both have mutual interest in moving up to 154. But seeing as though how the fight played out, and Terrence Crawford was stronger, he was faster hands, faster feet, faster quick twitch muscles. His ring IQ was slightly higher. His jab was better. He was the better athlete, and he was bigger and stronger, shockingly, than Errol Spence Jr. He stayed in the southpaw stance. We all know Terrence Crawford is very versatile, able to switch from southpaw to orthodox. But in this fight, he stayed southpaw from the very beginning and never went orthodox. And he dominated the fight. His jab was better. He was better on so many levels. And so Roy Jones, who stated in a previous interview that, Errol Spence is not very fond of him because he picked Terrence Crawford to beat Errol Spence in the past before they fought. And he said Errol Spence was, a big fan of Roy Jones, and he didn't take too kind. And Roy Jones saw him in Texas and went to shake his hand, and Errol Spence refused to shake his hand. Roy Jones went on to say that, he wished that Errol Spence would have just had a conversation with him, asked him what he meant by when he picked Terrence Crawford, and saying that he saw Terrence Crawford a lot more than he saw him, and Terrence Crawford makes better adjustments. So now Roy Jones did another interview to which he stated that it doesn't matter if they fight at 154, 160, 165. If Errol Spence presents himself to be the same fighter he was, then he's going to lose again. And so he suggests that, Errol Spence signs the rematch clause, but asks Terrence Crawford to give him a pardon and have at least another fight or two before he goes back into a rematch with Terrence Crawford. He needs preparation, okay? So he stated that he needs preparation, he needs to make some changes and some adjustments, and he needs time to do so, okay? So he stated that, he would have, if he was training and advising Errol Spence, he would tell him to sign the contract so he don't lose the fight, but ask Terrence Crawford to give him a pardon so that he can get some other fights in and prepare differently. So let's listen to what Roy had to say.
Fight him at 54, he can fight him at 65, none of that would matter.
Does it look any different in your opinion at 54?
As a coach, I want to let Earl go get everything checked out and make sure he's neurologically okay. If his mind, everything's okay, and his body's okay, then we'll consider a fight at 154, but we need some time to make some adjustments because we haven't been forced to make adjustments in our career. Truthfully speaking, we should sign a rematch clause.
So he said, Errol Spence has never had to make adjustments in his career, right? So this is the first time Errol Spence is going to have to make some adjustments within his career. So he needs time. I said this, Errol Spence is fundamentally sound. Errol Spence admitted this himself. Errol Spence stated that, he's the Tim Duncan. He's just fundamentally sound. No flash, no flair. He just gets the job done. Hard hat, lunch pail, and gets the job done. I stated this before. Errol Spence has a vanilla style, right? But it works for him. He's mastered being a vanilla style. But he has not made adjustments, and he had not had to make adjustments because he physically and mentally breaks down all his opponents. But that wasn't the case when he faced Terrence Crawford. But listen.
Let us have one or two fights between. Secondly, we don't have to pull ourselves down so far weight at 154. So maybe we won't be as sluggish with the weight. You understand me? Because we know Earl been killing himself for years now to make 47. So with Bud not ever having that drastic weight loss, never having going through no drastic car accident or nothing like that, anybody you put in front of him, he gonna take him apart. If he just goes in and fights Bud again the way he is now, he can fight him at 54, he can fight him at 65, none of that would matter.
Does it look any different in your...
So you hear, he said none of that's going to matter, which is definitely very, very interesting because, again, like I said, obviously Errol Spence has never made any excuses, but it's abundantly clear Errol Spence is on record, stating that, it's time for him to move up in weight, okay, because making 147 is simply not easy for him to make, okay? It's a struggle for him to make 147. And Terrence Crawford uttered the same sentiments, right? That it's a struggle for him, to make 147. Errol Spence is naturally the bigger guy. And maybe, the fact that he struggled, to make the weight was a reason why he didn't have his strength and he wasn't as strong as, Terrence Bud Crawford. So this is something that, we only going to find out when they fight at 154. And I've said this before, the punishment that Errol Spence took in the fight, I truly, would like to see Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford take some time in between the fight. Errol Spence is eager to get back in the ring. Errol Spence wants this fight immediately. And it looks like he's been suspended, by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, but he's only suspended for 2 months, right? He's free from suspension September 28th, which gives him the clearance to be able to fight the date he wants to fight, which is December. He wants the rematch in December, so it looks like December 9th is going to be the possible date that we see the rematch, which is only 4 months. I mean, he fought July 29th, so August, September, October, November, because he has to be in at least a 2-month training camp. So you say October, November is training camp. He's suspended for August and September, and then he's immediately going back into a fight with Terrence Crawford. And so Roy Jones has, expressed his concerns. And I say the same thing. Has his body healed? Has his punch resistance still going to be there? Or is it still going to be weary, seeing as though he just came out a brutal fight? I want to see the best version of Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Period. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.